Also announced that the father of the Green Revolution, M.S. Swaminathan, will also be honoured with the Bharat Ratna. But seemingly, there are several political takeaways from these announcements, whether it is an alliance with the RLD, courtesy this Bharat Ratna, or the fact that P.V. Narasimha Rao, who was sidelined by the Congress, who was snubbed by the Gandhis, has now been honoured by the BJP.
Three Bharat Ratnas in a single day. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Friday announced that country's highest civilian honour will be conferred on late Prime Minister Chaudhry Charan Singh, P.V. Narasimha Rao and agro-scientist M.S. Swaminathan. The choice of awardees are significant considering this is an election year. Charan Singh, who participated in the freedom struggle, is hailed as a champion of farmer rights. The farmer leader broke away from Congress and ended the grand old party's stranglehold on the Hindi heartland in 1967, when he became the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh. After fighting the emergency in 1975, he joined Morarji Desai's Janata Party government as Deputy Prime Minister. He also became the Prime Minister for a few months in 1979. The Bharat Ratna to Charan Singh comes even as his grandson Jayant Singh Chaudhary seals a poll alliance with the BJP in Uttar Pradesh. The honour to Jat leader could also assuage the community's anger towards the BJP in Haryana and Rajasthan.
भाजपा के साथ हाथ मिलाने के लिए तैयार हो। आप भाजपा के साथ हाथ मिला रहे हैं।
देखिए कोई कसर रहती है। आज मैं किस मुंह से इनकार करूं आपके सवाल पे।
P.V. Narasimha Rao's tenure as Prime Minister marked a turning point in India's history as he opened up the economy in 1991. Rao's policies transformed India's economic landscape and made him a middle-class hero. The demolition of Babri Masjid during his term made him a pariah within the Congress, as party leaders blamed him for Muslim voters drifting away. On his death, Rao was denied a resting place in Delhi by the UP government, despite his family's wishes. His body was also not allowed inside the party office in the national capital. The Modi government's decision to award Bharat Ratna to Rao is also a political message to the Gandhis.
For former Prime Ministers Chaudhry Charan Singh and Bharat Ratna for P.V. Narasimha Rao, ma'am.
Well, I welcome them. I'm very, very happy. This is a great moment and in family and also for any Telugu or any Indian citizen. This is a great, happy moment that central government has announced, Modi gar announced Bharat Ratna to P.V. gar. This is a great recognition. I am so happy.
Agro-scientist M.S. Swaminathan is hailed as the father of Green Revolution in India. Swaminathan's research and programs made India self-sufficient in food grains after decades of dependence on foreign aid and imports.
So naturally I feel very proud and very happy that my father's work has been recognized by the highest civilian honour in India. Bharat Ratna is the highest honour that you can give.
The honour to Swaminathan is also seen as a reach out to farmers across the country who idolize him. Earlier, the Modi government had announced Bharat Ratna to Mandir movement face L.K. Haldwani and champion of OBC quota Karpuri Thakur. Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, the Congress finds itself in a spot with regards to reacting to the Bharat Ratna for former Prime Minister P.V. Narasimha Rao. You had several Congress leaders with one-line answers saying we welcome it. Congress Chief Minister for Telangana, Revanth Reddy, has also put out a detailed statement welcoming it, considering that Narasimha Rao is a Telugu bidder from Telangana. But you also have reactions like this one, where a Congress Neta has actually mocked the Bharat Ratna for the former Prime Minister. Hussain Dalwai has said Narasimha Rao aided the demolition of the masjid, because remember, the Babri Masjid demolition happened during his tenure as Prime Minister.
उनको दिया तो हमें उसका दुख होने की जरूरत नहीं, खुशी है उनको दिया तो। और नरसिंह राव जी ने तो उनको मस्जिद ढाने के लिए मदद भी की थी, तो दिया तो ठीक है ना। उनको दिया तो हमें उसका दुख होने की जरूरत नहीं, खुशी है उनको दिया तो। और नरसिंह राव जी ने तो उनको मस्जिद ढाने के लिए मदद भी की थी, तो दिया तो ठीक है ना।
Let me bring in Milind Sharma on this broadcast. Milind, the Congress, of course, will find itself in a peculiar situation on how exactly to react to this. Here's their own leader, sidelined repeatedly by the party, now being hailed, now being felicitated in this manner by the Modi government.
That's right, Akshita. In fact, a lot of seniors will also tell us how there was always a conflict between Sonia Gandhi and PV Narasimha Rao. In a lot of books, there are mentions about how the then Prime Minister was sidelined by the High Command of the Congress Party many times. And that has also been mentioned by the BJP leaders. Now, BJP has come forward and honoured PV Narasimha Rao with that Bharat Ratna. It's a great honour for the family as well as the nation. And meanwhile, the Congress Party's President Mallikarjun Kharge has congratulated it, welcomed it, but they're not able to put words into why, the Congress Party could not do it initially in their term. And of course, right now, there are being barbs that are being exchanged as to how, the Bharat Ratnas are being given out for political gains and etc. But the point remains that those who are the recipients feel proud today that their, accomplishments have been acknowledged by, the present government in power. And of course, one of them being Chaudhry Charan Singh there, another one being PV Narasimha Rao, both former prime ministers of the country and both, getting their due after a very long time. And of course, Prime Minister Modi tweeted about it. And certainly the Congress leaders are there unable to understand what should be the reaction to this at the moment.
All right, Milind, thanks very much for joining us with all of those inputs on the story. But even as reactions, political reactions are coming in, let's talk about how really the family of former Prime Minister PV Narasimha Rao feels. Many of them are still in politics, none of them but with the Congress. Joining us now is the grandson of former Prime Minister PV Narasimha Rao. We have Subhash Rao joining us here on India Today. Thank you very much, Subhash Garu, for joining us on India Today. First of all, many congratulations to you and to your family members. It's, as many say, long due recognition for the former Prime Minister PV Narasimha Rao. Better late than never.
Exactly. Thank you for just inviting us, and this is the greatest moment we can say, because after a long wait, though we are very hopeful that my grandfather Sri Narasimha Rao ji will be given a due recognition, but we are very confident that it will only happen in Narendra Modi ji's government. Why I am telling this is because if you can see the awardees list, whether it is the Padma Shri or Padma Vibhushan or Bharat Ratna, people who have literally contributed for the benefit of the society, contributed for the development of this country, and contributed for development of the people who have only thought about development agenda and who have excelled in their respective fields, have been rewarded and awarded. And this is one of the cases where Narasimha's contribution has been duly recognized, though he belongs to the Congress Party.
Yeah.
Modi ji's the goodwill gesture, his the thoughtfulness that people from any political party or any region or religion or any affiliations, he did not really mind on that. It has been recognized, and as a member of the family and Bharatiya Janata Party Telangana spokesperson, I really thank all the people who have contributed for this award, and especially for Modi ji's, which we were very, very confident that we will be getting during his regime.
I started off saying, Mr. Subhash Rao, that this is better late than never. Why do you think it's taken so long to recognize PV Narasimha Rao's legacy? Why do you think the Congress, considering he was one of their own, failed to really recognize what he's done? Do you think it was some sort of a personal hatred?
See, I'll tell you one, just example. after he became as the Prime Minister, they were thinking that the Congress party leaders, especially who are very close to Gandhi family, they thought that Narasimha Rao will be only as a Prime Minister for a very short time. But the kind of support and the goodwill he has been receiving from other political parties, because he thought of economic liberalization and so many other issues, especially the first budget, where when he has given a speech and then he has told the people that we should only focus on the development. And the way the economic reforms or devaluation of rupee and opening up the floodgates for foreign direct investment and infrastructure development, which has been really appreciated by most of the people. So after that, ठीक है भाई, okay, Narasimha Rao ji is doing very well.
Yeah.
And then though there are so many issues which is not really anticipated or expected, these issues and this opposition from within his own party, he has really managed it very well, because he was very, very confident that development should be the only agenda. And he has really contributed for that. And Sonia Gandhi ji and her family members must have thought that if he is let to be continued, the furthermore,
correct. And
then,
you know what I remember?
the family will be forgotten.
There was a comment that came in a few months ago, Mr. Rao, by a Congress leader who even said that PV Narasimha Rao was the first BJP Prime Minister and that he was communal. Why do you think the Congress really completely distanced themselves from the legacy of PV Narasimha Rao? There are many in the BJP from your party, sir, who say that it's because he's a non-Gandhi.
Exactly. See, they have never expected that he will continue for next 5 years. And it is very difficult for Gandhi family to really digest that people from other the family members other than the Gandhi families is getting so much name and fame. So one by one of the leaders just started that he's the communal, he's a BJP spokesperson, or he's a BJP. All these things are really doesn't matter about it, because ultimately people are very happy that today people are very happy because of his economic liberalization. So many families have gone abroad and so many startup companies have come. Though many people doesn't recognize his the contributions, because of the Congress party continuously sidelining him and belittling his all the contributions for just for the favor of one the family. I'm not talking about only Narasimha Rao ji. There are so many other Congress leaders who have really contributed many times. Many things they have literally contributed.
Sir, what's your response to anyone who says that this is a political Bharat Ratna?
See, I'll just ask the same question on behalf of me. I would appreciate if you can ask the same questions. What made them to not to give this Bharat Ratna awards to the respective people in the 2009 and 2014? They had enough chance, right? At that time also elections were there. No one has really stopped them to give this kind of just awards to them, and they are only making it the political, which is not possible for them. The possibility has been made by Narendra Modi's government. I don't really think that it should be linked for the political gain on that, and they should have given neither the BJP or TDP had any opposed Bharat Ratna to the PV Narasimha Rao. Why? What made them not to give? Leave alone giving awards.
Yeah.
They have not made his contributions to the people, to public.
And finally, you're saying it's not a political Bharat Ratna, but do you think it will have an impact really on the elections in Telangana?
Exactly. Now all Telugu people are very, very happy, because since we are in the political field, many people have been asking that since you are in the Bharatiya Janata Party, you should ask Modi ji and you should ask other political leaders for due recognition. And I would like to thank Kishan Reddy ji, Lakshman ji, Bandhu Sanjay ji and Pandit Dattatreya ji who had made this dream come true happen. So I don't contribute or anything with elections in that, because as I said earlier, you can directly ask them that they would have given. No one has really stopped them. So this is not a good time to talk about the politics.
Sure.
Politics will be there, elections will be there. Definitely elections, we are the political party.
Okay.
So definitely everyone will think about the political, but his recognition, no one is opposing. No one is opposing giving Bharat Ratna to Narasimha Rao. Everyone is happy and then looking forward that a great person has been given a good award at this point of time, even after 30 years, even after 20 years of his death. This is the greatness of Modi's government.
All right. Mr. Subhash Rao, thank you very much for joining us here on India Today. Congratulations once again to you and your family for the honour that's been bestowed on the former Prime Minister. Now, what really are the political takeaways from this particular decision of conferring the Bharat Ratna on two former Prime Ministers? Here's the conversation I had earlier with Rajdeep. All right, I'd like to bring in on Rajdeep Sardesai as well. Rajdeep, let's take this one at a time. First of all, the decision of conferring the Bharat Ratna to former Prime Minister PV Narasimha Rao. How do you see this? The Prime Minister referring to the legacy of the former Prime Minister, which many say a legacy that was ignored by the Congress.
Look, I think there can be no quibble over Narasimha Rao ji getting the Bharat Ratna. When you consider the fact that one of the most dramatic changes that has taken place in India in the last few decades is what economic liberalization did at the time. Mr. Rao may have had his critics and detractors, but he will be seen as a Prime Minister who did leave a legacy. The fact that the Congress didn't give him his due is also on record, and I think that perhaps makes it even easier for the BJP to almost suggest that we are doing what the Congress failed to do. So I don't think there can be quibbles over the fact that Narasimha Rao had a long and distinguished career in public life. When it comes to Chaudhry Charan Singh, remember he is a towering Kisan leader, Jat community, and it comes at a time when there is talk of Jayant Chaudhary, his grandson of the Rashtriya Lok Dal, joining hands with the BJP. When you look at it in totality, Karpuri Thakur, Mandal icon, in a way a Mandir icon in LK Advani and a markets icon in Narasimha Rao, you virtually covered all bases. And perhaps the only criticism that some will have is that the timing is designed with the general election just a couple of months away. You're using the Bharat Ratna as a political weapon. But beyond that, all these figures will be seen by their many admirers as justly deserving the Bharat Ratna. Remember, Akshita, this is a country where Indira Gandhi famously gave a Bharat Ratna to V.V. Giri, who was the president when Mrs. Gandhi was Prime Minister. And there were questions raised at the time as well. So it's not as if previous Prime Ministers have not, in a way, used the Bharat Ratna, some say, for political gain. But I do believe the likes of Narasimha Rao, Chaudhry Charan Singh, Karpuri Thakur have been important figures. We can debate whether they should have got the Bharat Ratna or not earlier. These are endless debates. But I think the BJP and Prime Minister Modi have once again scored a political point ahead of the general elections by suggesting that those ignored by the Congress are being embraced by the BJP. And I think that's a powerful political message that the BJP intends to send ahead of the general elections.
The narrative that this creates, Rajdeep, you're talking about the political messaging involved here. How do you really see this having an impact in the upcoming elections?
It's very interesting you say that, Akshita. I do recall that when Sachin Tendulkar was given the Bharat Ratna, a Congress leader told me that we will now get the youth vote. I don't know which world he was living in. Look, the Bharat Ratna has symbolic value, undoubtedly. Does it determine voter preferences in a country as diverse as India? I don't think so. But it does give
political messaging. From the optics point of view, it's important. I think by giving Narasimha Rao, you're sending a message to the Congress and the Gandhi family in particular that you ignored your own. By giving it to a Charan Singh, you're wooing Jayant Chaudhary on your side. By giving it to a Karpuri Thakur, you wooed Nitish Kumar on your side. So that limited political messaging is there. Undoubtedly now, when in a Western UP, the Prime Minister goes and addresses farmers, he'll say, look, I gave the ultimate Kisan Neta Kisan Putra, the Bharat Ratna. But to suggest that it decides voter preferences, I think that would be a stretch.
So you're saying that narrative-wise, there is certainly a lot to take away from these decisions, but not really something that will have an impact, a hard-hitting impact on the ground. Let's take, for example, Rajdeep, PV Narasimha Rao, you know, someone who has, of course, had, as you said, huge contributions to India's economic policies, to India's nuclear policies as well, but also in the south. You look at Telangana, for example, something like this will resonate with the people because they've always felt that here's a man who is a prime minister from our soil and yet was never given his due.
Good point, Akshita. You know, as you come in from Hyderabad airport, which is named after Rajiv Gandhi, you go along a Narasimha Rao flyover. That's the long flyover which takes you into Hyderabad. You know, he is seen as a Telugu Bidda. He is seen as someone in Telangana. You speak to intellectuals, they say Narasimha Rao was someone whom they feel could have got a Bharat Ratna. Let's also be clear, it's a mixed legacy. The same Narasimha Rao was the Home Minister when the terrible anti-Sikh pogrom happened in 1984. The same Narasimha Rao was Prime Minister when the Babri Masjid was demolished and it led to riots. The same Narasimha Rao was accused of being a Prime Minister who had bought a confidence vote with the JMM. But it's the same Narasimha Rao who also, as you say, made important breakthroughs on foreign policy, especially with the United States. It's the same Narasimha Rao who ushered in market liberalization, who managed to run a successful minority government for 5 years. So it's a mixed legacy, as is the legacy of many of the past Bharat Ratnas. Every leader who is in public life over an extended period has strengths and weaknesses. But you make a good point. In a state like Telangana, where the BJP wants to grow, they can certainly make the point, as I said, they can make the point in Western UP, that we are rewarding iconic leaders from your region. Remember also MS Swaminathan, the only non-politician in this list, is from Tamil Nadu. And who will question a Bharat Ratna for MS Swaminathan? You know, someone who was one of the architects of the Green Revolution, and I emphasize one of them because there were others also involved in it. Someone like Dr. Varghese Kurian, I could argue, should have also got the Bharat Ratna. Comes actually from Gujarat. And there will be questions, is it because he was someone who wanted an independent cooperative movement and didn't really suck up to politicians? The truth of the matter is there are lots of Indians out there who could be posthumously given the Bharat Ratna, but the choices, I think, are unexceptionable. But the choices are also with one eye on politics. Let's not kid ourselves there.
Okay, deserving candidates, no doubt, for India's highest civilian honour, deserving candidates for the Bharat Ratna, but there is certainly political colour also to these choices. Thanks very much, Rajdeep, for joining us here on India Today with your insight. And the politics over the announcement of the Bharat Ratna continues. Demands now pouring in for a Bharat Ratna for Bala Sahib Thackeray as well. Raj Thackeray as well as Sanjay Raut have now spoken out, questioning why the decision hasn't been taken to give and confer and honour Bala Sahib Thackeray with a Bharat Ratna. Now, Raj Thackeray has said that he was a prominent cartoonist of the country and a unique leader who awakened the identity of all Hindus across the country and thereby deserves his honour. Sanjay Raut, meanwhile, has said that neither Veer Savarkar nor Bala Sahib Thackeray have been honoured by the government so far. And thereby, he said that the Modi government, which calls itself Hindutva, has once again forgotten the Hindu heartthrob. All right, with that, I'm slipping into a very short break here on 6 p.m. Prime. Coming up on the other side, we'll get you all of the highlights of the debate that's taking place in Parliament over the White Paper. You had an all-out attack by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman earlier today, highlights of which are coming your way in just a bit.
बोला गया कोल स्कैम के ऊपर 1.86 लाख करोड़ का भारत के लिए नुकसान पहुंचाया। 1.86 लाख करोड़ का नुकसान इनके कोल स्कैम के वजह से भारत देश ने भुगतना पड़ा। फिर सर सुप्रीम कोर्ट इस सिचुएशन को इतना गंभीरता से लेकर के 214 कोल ब्लॉक्स का लाइसेंस को रद्द करवाया, पूरे रद्द करवाया, रद्द कर दिया। सिस्टम हो गया, बंद हो गए, सफाई हो गया। मगर उससे क्या हुआ देश का, उसका देश के लिए क्या हुआ, उसका असर देश के लिए कितना हुआ? आज उसके असेसमेंट देख लीजिए सर। जॉब लॉस हुआ, इन्वेस्टमेंट नहीं आया इस देश में, उसके कारण एंसिलरी इंडस्ट्रीज जो एमएसएमई छोटे उद्योग, लघु उद्योग, वो पूरे ठप पड़ा। फिर इलेक्ट्रिसिटी प्रोड्यूस करने के लिए कोयला इंपोर्ट करना पड़ा। देश भरपूर है कोल, देश में भरपूर है कोल, फिर भी इंपोर्ट करना पड़ा। फिर इलेक्ट्रिसिटी प्रोडक्शन पूरे के पूरे बंद हो गया था। और आपको भी याद होगा माननीय स्पीकर सर, आपको भी याद होगा स्पीकर सर, उस जमाने के पत्रकार लोग कितने लिखते थे। थर्मल कोल प्लांट में 3 दिन का स्टॉक है कोल, 4 दिन 4th डे कोल नहीं है, कैसे प्रोड्यूस करेंगे? तब तक आएगा स्टॉक, नहीं आएगा। ऐसे टेंशन में पावर प्लांट्स चलते थे उस जमाने में। स्टॉक नहीं है, कोल नहीं आ रहा, बंद हो गया 214 कोल ब्लॉक्स का लाइसेंस, कैसे चलाएंगे देश? और उसका नतीजा देख लीजिए, लॉस इन रेवेन्यू फॉर कोल प्रोड्यूसिंग स्टेट्स। आज मगरमच्छी का आंसू, क्रोकोडाइल टीयर्स चला रहे हैं। कोल प्रोड्यूसिंग स्टेट्स कहां है सर? पूरे ईस्टर्न बाग में, पूर्वी बाग में है। झारखंड हो, छत्तीसगढ़ हो, इन सभी स्टेट्स का रेवेन्यू लॉस हुआ। इनका जिम्मेदारी उसमें कुछ है या नहीं? उसके लिए क्या काम किया?
Welcome back. There's literally a black and white debate playing out in Parliament as we speak. The white paper that was tabled by the Modi government is currently being discussed in Parliament, and the discussion began with Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman listing out what's mentioned in this white paper in the Lok Sabha. Let's get you some of the highlights of what she said.
यूपीए गवर्नमेंट ने कोल स्कैम के द्वारा भारत देश का भयंकर नुकसान किया, भयंकर भयंकर नुकसान, आम तौर का नुकसान नहीं है, हल्का फुल्का नहीं है. What happened after 2008 when there was a global financial crisis and what happened post the COVID shows clearly that if the intent of the government is sincere, if niyat और नियम दोनों सही है तो अच्छा रिजल्ट मिलेगा. जब आपके नियत साफ नहीं है और आपके कार्रवाई भी साफ नहीं है, देश को इतना गंभीर अवस्था में छोड़कर आप चले गए, उसको सही करने में 10 साल माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी मोदी जी का उनके डेडिकेशन के वजह से आज देश उभर कर आ रही है, जो पूरे दुनिया में सम्मान हो रही है. White paper has been laid on the table by a government which, after 10 full years of pulling out an Indian economy which was in a state of fragile 5 to reach the stage of top 5 economy and on the verge of reaching top 3 position. It is a statement laid with responsibility so that the records of the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha have the factual information on the economy. And that record shall be a record for our posterity, for our future, for entire India's youth. Years of one government with some crisis and 10 years of a different government with a different crisis. The comparison shown in this white paper clearly says how, if the government handles it with true sincerity, transparency, and putting the nation first, the results are there for everybody to see. Equally, when you don't put the nation first, when you put your first family first, and when you have other consideration than transparency, the results are out there for you to see. When the results are out there for you to see. आपने कोयला को राख बनाया. जो कोयला भारत देश में है उसको राख बनाया. हमने अपने नीतियों के तप से कोयले को हीरा बना दिया. वही हीरा आज सर वो सुनना चाहिए सर, थोड़ा सुनना चाहिए. सुनिए मैं इंग्लिश में भी बोल रही हूँ, हिंदी में भी बोल रही हूँ. सुनिए वो आपको अच्छा होगा. सुनिए, मेरा हिंदी भी एंटरटेनिंग है, थोड़ा सुनो. मेरा हिंदी भी थोड़ा एंटरटेनिंग है, हल्का सा ब्रेक भी लो. सर आज वही हीरा जो कोयला से हमारे तप से, वही हीरा जो हुआ है कोयला से, आज वही हीरा खनिज क्षेत्र में डिस्ट्रिक्ट मिनरल फाउंडेशन के रूप में अपनी चमक फैला रहा है.
Okay, so those were some of the highlights of what the finance minister said. We're going to track all the reactions that come in from Parliament as well. I'm slipping into a very, very short break here on 6 p.m. Prime. Coming up on the other side, the latest updates on exactly what transpired in Haldwani. Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami has now promised strict action. We'll get you his reaction in just a bit.
कांग्रेस पार्टी ने कभी भी बार बार उनको अवमान करके, उनको इंसल्ट करके, उनका जो कंट्रीब्यूशन है, जो अच्छा कंट्रीब्यूशन है, वो सिर्फ गांधी फैमिली के परिवार के खाते में लगा के जो कांग्रेस पार्टी को जो नुकसान हुआ वो सब कंट्रीब्यूशन से नरसिम्हा राव का जो खाते में देखे। आज इट्स ए स्लैप ऑन हिज फेस फॉर द कांग्रेस पार्टी. Congress party has to answer that why their own leader, their own prime minister, their own Congress party, the president who have really worked for the Congress party has not been given any award when they are in power.
So you blame the Congress party for not recognizing it but appreciating the BJP here, sir, at this moment?
Exactly. But Narendra Modi's government has recognized the contributions of late Narasimha Rao, and then he has conferred. If you can see, Narendra Modi ji has a lot of respect to Narasimha Rao ji, because whether it is in parliament or whether it is outside parliament, whether it is in the public meeting or whether it is the private meeting also, he has always talked about good about Narasimha Rao, and we really thank for it.
What would you like to say to the Congress party, sir?
Congress party एक मुंतट जवाब दिए नरेंद्र मोदी के सरकार जो बिहार में जो भारत रत्न देने के बाद नरसिम्हा राव जी की भी भारत रत्न देने, ये इनके पास अभी कुछ जवाब भी नहीं है, एंड दे हैव टू पे हेवी प्राइस फॉर नॉट रिकॉग्नाइजिंग द कंट्रीब्यूशंस ऑफ देयर ओन लीडर्स.
Sir, I rise to lay a white paper on the Indian economy, both in Hindi and English versions. Lay a white paper.
Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman tables a white paper on financial indiscipline and mismanagement by Manmohan Singh-led UPA government in Parliament. The white paper claims that the UPA government inherited a healthy economy from the Atal Bihari Vajpayee government, but left a deeply damaged economy for Narendra Modi to manage when he became the Prime Minister. In the document released on Thursday, the Finance Minister also highlights UPA-era scams like coal allocation, CWG, 2G, INX media case, Augusta Westland helicopter deal. The white paper also speaks about double-digit inflation, twin balance sheet problem and policy paralysis during the UPA tenure. The centre claims the NDA government revived Indian economy from the fragile 5 in 2014 to the top 5 in 2024. The Congress has hit back by releasing a black paper, highlighting what it called the failures of the Modi government. The 54-page black paper claims the 10 years of Modi rule were a period of injustice. The black paper also claims that prices of essential commodities increased, unemployment rate spiked, institutions were subverted, opposition rule states ignored, and money extorted through the route of electoral bonds. With elections just a couple of months away, the economy could become a talking point on the campaign trail. Bureau Report, India Today.
Welcome back. Violence broke out in Haldwani district of Uttarakhand after madrasa was demolished by local authorities. It led to a frenzied mob resorting to stone pelting and arson. The death toll has gone up to 4. There are several police personnel who were targeted, who were left injured after this attack. And multiple reports suggest that this was a pre-planned conspiracy. Here's a detailed report.
Vehicles set on fire. Police station vandalized. Curfew clamped. Chaotic scenes unfolded in Haldwani, the financial capital of Uttarakhand, on Thursday evening. After the local administration cracked down on an illegal encroachment as directed by the Uttarakhand High Court. It all began when bulldozers rolled in and demolished an allegedly illegal building which local residents claimed was a madrasa.
ये कोई एक ही परिसंपत्ति को टारगेट करके करी हुई एक्टिविटी नहीं थी। ये पूरे काफी लंबे समय से हल्द्वानी के अंतर्गत सरकारी परिसंपत्तियों को अलग अलग क्षेत्रों में बचाने का, सुरक्षित करने का, अतिक्रमण मुक्त कराने का अभियान चल रहा है।
हाँ, बंधक ही बना लिया था कि सबके संग बच के हम भाग रहे थे, हमें गली में भागे तो क्योंकि हर गली से पत्थर चल रहे थे, जैसे पुलिस आगे भाग रही थी, पुलिस के ठीक पीछे पीछे लोग पत्थर लेके आ रहे थे।
Hundreds of local residents, including women, attacked the security contingent that accompanied the bulldozers by pelting stones and hurling petrol bombs. By night, mobs surrounded the Banbhulpura police station, forcing the administration to rush reinforcements. The police opened fire on the violent mob and lathi-charged them to restore order.
जिस तरह की घटनाएं सामने आई हैं उससे ये लगता है कि जो लोग उपद्रवी थे उनके द्वारा इसकी पूरी तैयारी करके रखी गई थी। जो एम्यूनिशन था या किसी भी प्रकार के पेट्रोल बम हुए या पत्थर थे, तो इन सब चीजों को पहले से जमा करके रखा गया था और ये पूरा प्लान किया गया था कि जब भी कभी इस प्रकार की कोई लॉ एनफोर्समेंट एजेंसी की कोई ड्राइव चलाई जाएगी तो इस तरह से रिटेलिएशन या रिएक्शन उसका दिया जाएगा।
The Pushkar Dhami government has issued shoot-at-sight orders to maintain calm in the region.
वहाँ पर अभी तत्काल अन्य कंपनियां पुलिस की और केंद्रीय बलों की भेजी जा रही है। सभी से शांति बनाने का हमने अपील की है, कर्फ्यू लगा दिया गया है और जो भी इसमें दंगाई होंगे, जो भी इस प्रकार का अतिक्रमणकारी होंगे, जिन्होंने आगजनी की है, उनके खिलाफ कठोर कार्रवाई की जाएगी।
The police have warned strictest action against curfew violators.
घटना के पीछे जो भी मिसक्रिएंट एलिमेंट्स थे, जिन्होंने कल पुलिस पार्टी पर पथराव किया, पेट्रोल बम फेंके, वेपन से गोली वोली चलाने की भी हमारे पास सूचना है, उनको चिन्हित करके और उनके खिलाफ सख्त से सख्त कार्रवाई की जाएगी।
This van is also clearing out the debris right now. You can see the whole area and it tells the tale that how violent the mob was which attacked the police when an illegal encroachment drive, anti-illegal encroachment drive was being pursued. Now the government is not leaving any stone unturned to ensure peace in the area.
While the BJP has alleged the involvement of PFI and Bangladeshi infiltrators in the Haldwani violence, the opposition has charged the state government with failure to handle law and order.
कि वहाँ पर काफी बांग्लादेशी घुसपैठिए पहले से है और कहीं ना कहीं पीएफआई जो बैंड ऑर्गेनाइजेशन वो भी कहीं ना कहीं उनके स्लीपर सेल अवश्य होंगे, जिन्होंने ये सुनियोजित साजिश करके ऐसी घटना करवाई है। इन्वेस्टिगेशन में सबके नाम आएंगे।
हल्द्वानी की स्थिति को देख मैं बहुत चिंतित हूँ, बहुत दुखी हूँ। हल्द्वानी का इतिहास शांति, सौहार्द, भाईचारे का रहा है, तरक्की का रहा है। सभी पक्षों को शांति बनाए रखनी चाहिए और फिर से सौहार्द कायम करने की कोशिश करनी चाहिए।
Haldwani is on the edge after mobs ran riot on Thursday night. The government has appealed citizens to ignore rumors and mischief makers and ensure peace. With Ankit Sharma in Haldwani, Bureau Report, India Today.
And let's get your reaction coming in from Uttarakhand Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami, who's vowed strict action against all of those who hit the streets and targeted police personnel last night. He's said that strictest action will be taken and rioters will be made to pay for the damage caused to public and private property. In fact, Chief Minister Dhami has said that all of those who were a part of the riot that took place last night in Haldwani will also be identified. Let's play out for you his reaction.
उत्तराखंड देवभूमि है, यहाँ पर ऐसे हालात कभी नहीं हुए। इन्होंने देवभूमि की जो फिजा है, देवभूमि का जो माहौल है, उसको खराब करने का प्रयास किया है। कानून अपना काम करेगा। इसमें जिन लोगों ने भी सरकारी संपत्ति जलाई है या लोगों की संपत्तियां जलाई हैं, वाहन जलाए हैं, उसके सारे वीडियो फुटेज, फुटप्रिंट सभी उपलब्ध हैं। उसको चेक किया जाएगा, जांचा जाएगा और उस पर जो भी कार्रवाई है, विधि सम्मत जो कार्रवाई है, वो कार्रवाई यहाँ पर की जाएगी।
That's all we have time for in this edition of 6 p.m. Prime. Thanks very much for tuning in. Have a good weekend ahead. Coming up on the other side, Mission 2024 with Preeti Chaudhary. She's going to be getting you all the politics that's playing out over the Bharat Ratna announcement today.
I'm very, very happy. This is a great moment and in family and also for any Telugu or any Indian citizen because everyone is because this is a great recognition, you know. If you sincerely work, ये time नहीं होता, ये आजकल का ये नहीं चलता. No, you can also work hard and do sincere work. Definitely, people will recognize one day than the other. This is a great happy moment that central government has announced. Modi garu announced Bharat Ratna to PV Gar. This is a great recognition. I am so happy.
So naturally, I feel very proud and very happy that my father's work has been recognized by the highest civilian honor in India. Bharat Ratna is the highest honor that you can give, and he has been recognized for his lifetime of contributions, of course, to agriculture, but more important to farmers' welfare in the country and also to the welfare of the poorest in society and the most vulnerable. So it is a matter of pride and satisfaction that his whole life's work has been recognized by the Government of India and by the Prime Minister.
White paper has been laid on the table by a government which, after 10 full years of pulling out an Indian economy which was in a state of fragile 5 to reach the stage of top 5 economy and on the verge of reaching top 3 position. It is a statement laid with responsibility so that the records of the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha have the factual information on the economy. And that record shall be a record for our posterity, for our future, and on the verge of reaching top 3 position. It is a statement laid with responsibility so that the records of the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha have the factual information on the economy. And that record shall be a record for our posterity, for our future, for entire India's youth, so that they know what effort it took for a Prime Minister with a vision to restore India to its glory. And in the last 10 years, that is exactly what has happened. And because it's my opening statement, and because there shall be a discussion in the House, I shall speak more elaborately in my reply in the evening.
Weather forecast now. Delhi, maximum 23 and minimum 8 degrees. Mumbai, maximum 31 and minimum 23 degrees. Kolkata, maximum 27 and minimum 13 degrees. Bangalore, maximum 30 and minimum 20 degrees. Chennai, maximum 31 and minimum 23 degrees. Hyderabad, maximum 33 and minimum 19 degrees.
Joining me here in Delhi, in Connaught Place, who've braved the traffic with me, is from the BJP, Batsuri Swaraj. Batsuri, good evening. Are you confident of another clean sweep?
Oh, absolutely. I think the scorecard is going to be 7-0 in favor of the BJP-led NDA.
Okay. Priyanka from Aam Aadmi Party. Priyanka Kakad with us. Priyanka, good evening. Will the fortunes change for the Aam Aadmi Party? National election hasn't really been a great set for really the Aam Aadmi Party in Delhi.
Well, if